Smash Engineering.
All right, so there's been a leak. I didn't know what it was, and then today when I started it, heard a little bit of a whine, which told me, aha, I do know what that is. That's my power steering pump whining. So I checked my fluid, which is right here, and survey says not enough fluid. So we have a leak. So I proceeded to think it was one of the lines, because this right here is, surprisingly or not, this is I think that's our high pressure side power steering line. But let me show you what I'm dealing with here. Moved it back a little bit, new puddle. But can I get it on camera from down here? If it would focus. Okay, so there's my power steering pump. If you see, the only spot that's wet is the, come on, focus, baby. Well, I'll put a picture of it right here, but the only spot wet is this, right there, there's a sensor. All under here is dry, other than where it dripped and fell off on there. And I looked at that line's not completely rusted through or anything. So I'm thinking, at least for right now, let me get up here, that it's leaking through the sensor, which I've never seen before. So first thing I'm going to do is unplug the sensor and look in it. Oh yeah, it's soaked in there. What is going on? It's dripping out of the sensor onto that hose below it. I've never seen that before. Never. Well, I guess that sensor's bad. I mean, I don't have any lights on in the dash, but it's definitely, oh, I guess maybe the sensor's still working even though it's leaking. I guess we'll go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and look up a sensor, and then we might pick this up another day, because I don't know if I'll be able to get one today. But you know, with the power of editing, we will flash it, and then it will be the day that I'm fixing it, hopefully. So let's see what we can do. Like 30 bucks new, but I checked it. It is a so focus there. Come on. 19 millimeter. There we go, finally. And there's actually quite enough, just enough, I should say, room to get it on there. Pop that out. Just enough room in there. Get it loose. I thought it was hand tight, but it is not. Get it out of here. I don't have a camera person today, so that is what the sensor looks like. And the sensor's got a little hole in it. I imagine there's probably a diaphragm in there, and it seems like that's where it's leaking. I wanted to check this O-ring though before I called it completely the sensor. The O-ring looks beautiful. The sensor is soaked on the inside. Let's see. Come on, focus. You know, I got a new freaking camera. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's soaked on the inside. So what I'm gonna do is clean this back up. put it back in, because as of right now, this is my only vehicle to get back and forth. So I'm just gonna, I won't record me cleaning this up and sticking it back in, but I wanted to make sure, because this O-ring can go bad, and then it can drip around the O-ring. So clearly that's not it.
What? It's funny because you're just gonna cut the sound of this and put some fun music.
I don't know if it's gonna focus. We're not gonna do many videos with this camera, just so you guys know. So we're gonna set that aside. We'll get our 19mm. We'll unplug the old one. Why is it so hot under here? I haven't driven this in a minute. We'll unplug our old one, which is soaked inside. My neighbor did just tell me it's a common issue with these, so hopefully that's all it is. When I take this out, fluid's gonna come dumping, no doubt. It's gonna have a huge hole, so I'm gonna try to have this one ready. Let's see if we can put this hand down in there. Take this out. Put the wiring harness up here. I don't know how to do this best. There's really no best way. It's gonna leak some fluid. Come on. Yep, quite a bit of fluid came out. There's the old one. I made sure to thread it in quite a few threads by hand before starting to do it with the socket, because you don't want to cross-thread this. Although I think it's like brass, so you probably only damage the sensor. You probably wouldn't damage the pump. Alright. Now, plug this bad boy back in. Oh no. Did I break it? It's not supposed to come off. Oh, let's see. As long as it doesn't leak, I'll be all the happier. Okay, so now we'll refill the fluid. Underneath there and cut what I could. I didn't realize that much was going to come out. And that's how you change that sensor. So now hopefully it's not going to leak. Take number 44. Action. I'm telling you, this YouTube thing, it's fun and I like it. There's a lot more to it behind the scenes than people realize, I think. When I used to watch YouTubers, I'm like, oh yeah, they threw a 10-minute video together. You don't realize it takes 2 hours of cut scenes and editing and whatever, and then you gotta have someone to hold the camera. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I appreciate you guys watching. We were able to fix this 2001 Ford Focus ZX3. It ended up being just the sensor, at least for right now. There's no leak or anything. I put another sensor in it, and we backed it up and let it sit for a while, let it run. I put the steering from left to right a couple times until all the whining went away because there's little air bubbles in it. Made sure that it stayed at the full level, and I've watched it now and there has been no drips. So as crazy as it might seem, a ratchet, a 19mm deep well, and maybe 30 minutes time, especially if you order one on Amazon or something. I needed this car to be up and running by tomorrow, because right now this is the car I'm using while gas is $94 a gallon. So I had to do what I had to do to get it running tonight. So, but if you order if yours is leaking and you got another car you can drive, and you order your sensor off like Amazon and you got it in hand, and get yourself some power steering fluid, what your car calls for. I'm not sure exactly what it calls for, but if you had the sensor and all that in hand, I bet you could probably get it done in like 20 minutes. It's really not that bad. You unplug the old one, you break loose the thing, the old sensor, screw it out, quickly get your old one in, or your new one in if you're gonna dump fluid everywhere. It is a good chance to get some of your fluid out and kind of refresh it. So if you put a pan underneath it, like I forgot to do, I didn't realize it was gonna dump that much out. But you put a pan underneath it, dump out your old fluid, especially if your fluid's dark. If it's not, some of it's red and some of it's clear depending on which one you get. But if it's dark in any sense of the matter, then I would recommend trying to get as much of it out as you can. So maybe take your sensor out, let it drain for a little while. Do not start your car with the sensor out. These pumps are finicky. They can go bad from being run dry even just one time. This one I kept putting fluid in even though it was leaking to keep the pump from going bad while I had to drive it. I had to drive it about 10 minutes once. So yeah, I think the average person, I think the skill level on this, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10, maybe a 1, maybe 1, 2. I don't know. If you consider changing oil, I would consider changing oil harder than this. So if you change your own oil, you change your own brakes, this is definitely something you could do. So I know my hair's all messed up. I'm sorry, it was thunderstorming while I was out here doing this. As you can tell, the ground's all wet. So thanks for watching. I hope wherever you're at, you're having a good day. Remember, it can't rain forever, and the night doesn't always stay night. So find someone to help, and thanks for watching.